Hey, what's up y'all? This your boy Charlie coming at y'all with another video. Today I'm going to be showing y'all how to make my delicious New Orleans homemade buttermilk drops from scratch. All this is buttermilk cake. We take it in spoonfuls and we deep fry. Once it's been fried, we glaze it with a butter vanilla almond glaze. Now this recipe was inspired by the former McKenzie's bakery. I think that's still the one that exists. Yeah. And the Buttermilk Drop bakery down in New Orleans. It makes about 10 buttermilk drops or more depending on the size spoonfuls that you fry, and it is delicious. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, here's all what you're going to need to make your New Orleans buttermilk drops, and we're going to get started with our ingredients first. You will need some all-purpose flour, sugar, salt, baking powder, cinnamon, nutmeg, unsalted butter, 1 large egg at room temperature, buttermilk at room temperature, whole milk at room temperature, and for your flavorings you'll need some vanilla extract and butter extract. And I forgot to mention that you will need some almond extract. You will also need some confectioner sugar and 48 fluid ounces of canola oil. Now you can also use vegetable oil as well for this recipe. And there we have it. Let's get straight to it. Preheat your fire to medium-high heat. In a medium-sized pot, add the entire 48 fluid ounces of canola oil. You're going to let this oil get hot for about 12 to 15 minutes. Now while that's going, let's get started with our batter. In a medium-sized bowl, add 1 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/2 cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 1/8 teaspoon of salt. Give this a quick stir. In a separate medium-sized bowl, add 1/3 cup of buttermilk at room temperature, 1/4 cup of whole milk at room temperature, 1 large egg at room temperature, 3 tablespoons of melted unsalted butter, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon of butter extract, and 1/2 teaspoon of almond extract. Stir all ingredients together with a whisk until combined. It's looking pretty good. Now we're going to take the wet ingredients and add the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. Using a sturdy spoon, stir all ingredients together until combined. And this is how it looks when you're done. And as you can see, that batter is really thick. That is normal. That's how it's supposed to be. Okay? To make the glaze, add 1 1/2 cups of confectioner sugar, 3 tablespoons of melted unsalted butter, 4 tablespoons of warm whole milk, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1/2 teaspoon of butter extract, and 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract. Stir all ingredients until creamy and smooth. And this is how it looks when we're done. It's looking pretty good. Now before we get started with frying our buttermilk drops, you're going to need a cooling rack. Okay, that's recommended, but if you don't have that, you can use the serving dish lined with napkins. You can place your buttermilk drops on that once you finish frying them. Okay, now let's fry our buttermilk drops. Here we have an ice cream scoop lightly coated with some oil. We're going to pick up a medium-sized amount of the batter. Now that's about 2 1/2 tablespoons of batter that we have on there, and we're going to drop it into the hot oil. Now to assist, we're just going to take a spoon and we're just going to push the batter into the hot oil. As you see here, just do it as carefully as possible. And you're going to fry 4 of these at one time, okay? Now frying times vary depending on the size. Now for these, it can take up to about 3 minutes on each side. But if you have a bigger amount, which is about double the size, it will take about 6 minutes on each side, okay? It's been about 6 minutes total, and our buttermilk drops are done. You can see that's a nice golden brown. And now what we're going to do is we're going to remove those holiday hot oil and place them onto our cooling rack or serving dish lined with napkins. Now you're going to let this cool completely before you add the icing, okay? Before you coat them with the icing, you want to let them cool completely. Here we have our icing. We're going to place this into the microwave on high for about 15 seconds. Now we're going to take each individual buttermilk drop, one at a time, and add it into your icing. Now you want to take a spoon and you're going to coat that buttermilk drop with the icing. Now we're going to take our tongs and we're going to remove the buttermilk drop from the icing. Make sure you shake it to get rid of some of that icing out there, and place it onto your cooling rack. Let this sit for about 15 minutes before serving. For best results, you can serve these the very next day, so that way the flavors can settle and increase overnight. Here is the final presentation, and there you have it. New Orleans homemade buttermilk drops, made from scratch by New Orleans native. If you like my channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell button if you want to be notified of my videos. You can also check out this recipe along with all of my other recipes at www.charliethecookandrews.com. You can also find me on Facebook and on Instagram under the name Charlie the Cook Andrews. Stay tuned as Charlie's Taste Test is coming up next. Now it's time to go ahead and take a bite. Look at that. I love buttermilk drops. Really good. Say, bro, when I tell y'all, buttermilk drop is off the chain. It's really, really good. It has a nice little crunch on the outside, nice moist on the inside. It actually tastes like a donut. It's really, really good. The flavor is on point. Oh man, it's really, really good. I mean, look at that. Woo! Delicious. Now I have to sit here and tell y'all, does it taste like McKenzie's or the Buttermilk Drop Bakery? Actually, comes close enough. Nothing beats the original though, man. If you think that I can sit here and beat the original, then you straight tripping out shit. But what I can tell you is that it is delicious. And if you want to try the recipe out, you might find that it tastes better than McKenzie's or Buttermilk Drops. But for me, nothing beats the original. Anyways, I hope you all give the recipe a try, and I hope you all enjoyed the video as well. Until next time, have a blessed one. Peace. McKenzie's, you taste the difference.